Hey, Tony Gas is here. Now, I want to touch on this today because it's a very real thing, very natural occurring thought that happened today as I was sitting down working, and we have a thing at Tatum's school today, at the boys' school. Tatum has a picnic, and I was sitting down working, looking at a project that I'm working on, and it's in the fintech space, which is financial technology. So it's in the fintech space, and it's something that I'm doing right now that I'm self-funding. And as I was looking at the UX UI, UX UI means user experience, user interface. As I'm looking through these things, I sent it to my wife and to get her feedback on it. And that's the only person I sent it to so far. And I'm talking to my developers, telling them, it looks good. And I thought about something because, and I thanked my wife in that moment. And I said, baby, I said, baby, I feel it. I don't know when, but one of these companies gonna take off, and it's gonna change our family lineage forever. And what I mean by that is something is gonna create generational wealth. Because just like my son tells it, he's like, Dad, what you do is very rare. He's like, it's not really likely for someone to be a life coach and to have the success that you've had. So that really can't be transferred. And I thought about that, and I'm like, you know what? He's kind of right, because it's a lot of men who have done some things and their sons don't necessarily succeed on the same level. Like, I see what Tony Robbins has done, and I've met his son, and although his son is successful, nowhere near successful as Tony Robbins. And I look at even Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player ever, and his son's nowhere near as successful as him. I look at LeBron James and his son nowhere near the one that just got drafted to the NBA. And so it's not a guarantee, but I look at these men who their grandfather created a business that created generational wealth. And that's not necessarily my goal, but it made me thank my wife this morning. And I said to her, baby, thank you for allowing me to dream. Thank you for letting me shoot my shot. Because I talk to so many women who are dream killers. And I'll be listening to these women on the phone, and they talking about their man, and they like, he always want to do something. He always trying to do this. He want to invest in this. He want to invest in that. He want to do this. He want to do that. And I'm just like, no, focus on one thing. Get a job. You need to just get this regular job. Don't do that. And that's not how men are wired. Like, we are wired to take chances. We're wired to push it to the limit. We're wired to lose it all. We're wired to invest and to try and to fail. Like, we are wired to be ambitious. An unambitious man, he might as well be castrated. Not in the literal sense, but you know what I mean. An unambitious man, something in him has died. He has given something up, he's dead on the inside. If you are a wife and your man not dreaming, something has died inside of him, or you've killed something in him. And my wife, she holds me accountable, and she'll rein me in, and she'll give me feedback. But when I'm on target, like when I'm on my purpose, she encourages everything that's in line with purpose. Now, she knocked my idea to open me a used car lot. You know, she knocked my idea to open me a barbershop. She knocked my idea, things that don't really, it just kind of seem cool, but it doesn't really serve my purpose. And it's not really a money maker either. Whereas things that serve my purpose, that could be in the software or technology space, like my mentor.life. When she heard that idea, she was like, do it. That's a good idea. And in transparency, my mentor.life only costed like 20, 30K initially, you know, to get it up like the MVP, you know, the minimum viable product, to get that up and get going. And it has been successful. You know, it is successful. It is profitable because the coaches, they only pay $20 a month and they get free marketing. You know, they get marketing for that $20. But if anybody know anything about running an ad or boosting on social media, $20 don't get you that. But because of my audience and my outreach, that right there, my mentor.life, just from this video alone, will be seen by thousands of people. And then you'll go there and them coaches will get views that they haven't technically paid for, in essence, because the $20 is really paying for the website, paying for their page and the technology that's keeping running. And they don't really realize how inexpensive it is, because you'll have coaches who get on there and don't get booked right away, and then they'll cancel, not realizing like this really is a freebie. Like you getting traffic that you're not generating, and you only have to pay $200 a year. Like there's no business in the world that you're going to run for $200 a year, but it's a scarcity mindset that we have as people, to where we want a lot for a little. And that's why the 1% is the 1%. That's why success is not common. That's why there's not a lot of millionaires in the grand scheme of things, because people want something for nothing. And the one thing that I found, that one of the things that I love about my wife is she is supportive. And she allowed me to dream, and she allowed me to bet on myself. And I don't know where that comes from. And even when I wanted to just work a regular job, when I wanted to take shortcuts and go back to being a drug dealer, she didn't allow that. And I remember like when I tried to go back to the streets, because I was in the streets when I wasn't with my wife. And then we got together, I wasn't in the streets, and then we broke up, and I went back to the streets because I was in the streets before I met her. And then when I went back to the streets, when I came back, when we bumped back into each other 6 months later, she allowed me to stay in the streets for maybe a month or two. And then she told me, you know, I had to let it go. And then we got married 10 months later, and a couple months into marriage, I tried to go back to the streets because our son was born early. He was in an intensive care unit, and she told me no. And she had a coworker that her child's father was doing 7 years in prison for selling drugs. And my wife, she was like, I don't want that to happen. Like, that's gonna happen. And I don't want that to happen. And so she told me no when I seen so many women telling their man, yeah. Like, it's so many women that have a drug dealer for a boyfriend or a husband, or they have a scammer for a boyfriend or a husband, or just somebody doing something illegal, just he gets illegal money. And there's so many women that reinforce that. But one thing about my wife, she didn't reinforce anything illegal. Like, she didn't allow me to stay in that space. Once she got her hooks in, like once she knew that I was her person and she was my person, she put her foot down. Like before that, she, you know, she dibble dabble. She didn't feel that she had room to say anything. She didn't feel she had any influence in my life, and she was right. But once she got that influence, she did what she knew to do. And that's what helped me become the man that I am today. And so one of the main things that every woman has to have is the wherewithal and the emotional intelligence to let a man be a man, in the sense of pursuing his dreams. And don't put the fear that you have as a woman on a man. And my wife, she give me the room to learn, and she gives me the room to fail. She knows better, but she understands that as a grown man, if she suppresses me and she doesn't let me do something, that it's only just gonna make me resent her and make me rebel. Let me give you an example. Being a business owner, I wanted a high-rise office. I wanted a downtown office. And she was like, why would you want an office when you can make $1 million from home? At that time, I don't know. At that time, I probably was making $500,000 or something like that. And y'all, when I say numbers, I'm just being transparent so you could frame things. It's always insecure people that talk, hey, you bragging, or you bragging. It's like, if I was bragging, I'd be showing off material stuff and all of that. It's like, don't let my truth or my story or my blessings or my honesty offend your insecurity. So understand that. I'm never bragging. That's not my personality. And so at the time, I probably was making around $500,000. I'm not sure. And I wanted me a high-rise office because I don't have any staff. So when I make $500,000, I make $500,000. It's not I make $500,000 and I make 100,000. Like if I make $500,000, we live on $500,000. And in life, it's like in business, when you got a company, pretty much almost everything is a write-off. So it's just how it is, how they set it up for Donald Trump and the boys. That's how they set it up. So I want this high-rise office, and she was like, you're not going to use it. She was like, you don't need that. Like, why are you trying to emulate Gary Vee and Grant Cardone? Like, you hear them, you watching them, and you see they got an office, and they got all this staff. But she was like, they got a bunch of overhead. That's smoke and mirrors. Everything ain't what it seems. And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about, baby. That's going to motivate me. I need an office. She said, all right, go ahead. She said, all right, go ahead. So I go and get this office, and it's like, I think $3,300 a month. And it's on the 33rd floor. I could look out my window, see the skyline or whatever you call it, look over the whole city, the water, beautiful behind me. It's my header on Twitter, which is now X. If you go on there and search Tony Gaskins, I should have a verified account on there. I really don't post on there. And then you will see, and you look out that window behind, I think it's my header. And I'm sitting there. And that was the office. And I had the office about maybe 4 or 5 months. And paying $3,000 a month. And do you know, the parking was like $12 a day. So now you paying another, what's that? 12 times 5, 60, 120, 240 a month. So you looking at right there, $3,500 a month. And it's basically a one-person office. It was like a 4-person office, but I ain't had no staff. So I'm sitting there and just looking out my office, doing a little work. Can't really do video because it's a glass office. Everybody walking by. It's a co-working type place, but it got individual offices. And then when people go heat up their lunch, they in there with tilapia. And I'm right across from the heat up area. So the vent comes right into my office. So I'm trying to sit there and work. And I'm tasting tilapia and salmon and mackerel. And about to throw up. And lasagna, And then, you know, a lot of Caucasians put sweet peas in their tater salad and stuff and hot dogs and their macaroni. So I'm sitting there about to throw up. And I went down there 5 times. And I'm not a personable person. I'm an introvert. So I don't really want to walk up on nobody at the coffee bar and shake hands and network. I'm trying to mind my business. So I had the office maybe 4 to 6 months. Paid whatever that is, had to pay money to get into it, like $4,000 or something to get in there, and then paid like another, what was it, maybe $18,000 or something, and went 5 times. And one of the times I went, bought furniture, had, you know, rug and little plan and different little stuff in there. They had desk and chairs in there pretty much already. And went 5 times out of 30 times 6. What's that? 180 days or something? Out of 180 days that I had available to me, I probably went 5 days. And one of the days I went was driving the Tahoe and somebody backed into it. It was either the Tahoe or the Suburban, and somebody backed into it. I think it was a Suburban because it was a long one. Hit it, put a dent in the back. Or maybe it was a Tahoe. So now that costing me money because you got a deductible on insurance, so you got to at least pay that first. So now that's costing me money. And then I think it was the pandemic hit, and we couldn't go up there, and I had them get me out my contract then. They ain't want to let me out, but they kept my security deposit. And because I was on it for a year. But all that money flushed down the drain. Then one time I wanted to get a writing condo because I would always go to the water to write my books. So I just wanted to get me a condo on the water, like a rent, like an apartment on the water where I could go sit on the balcony and look out at the water and write my books. Same thing again. My wife told me, you're not going to go. Like, it's a waste of money. Got into it. It's $3,100 a month. I had it about 6 months. I didn't go not one day. No, I had it maybe 4 or 5 months. I didn't go not one day. Money flushed down the drain. And that's one thing. Now, at the thing about it though, is I had already paid my dues. So don't get that confused. It's not like at this point, I'm technically like a millionaire on paper when I'm doing this. So I had already paid my dues, but she could have like really put her foot down, really pitched a fit, really just throw furniture, really, you know, threatened to divorce me. She could have did stuff to make me not do it, but she gave me enough rope to let me learn. And I learned, and it took those 2 times. And it's great that I learned it before the age of 40 because now we'll have the rest of our life and I'll never do anything stupid like that again. And because now I know my limits, but that's what a wife has to do when she has an ambitious man, because a lot of women operate out of fear, and you need to know where every dollar is coming from. You need to know, you need to have a 5-year plan, 10-year plan. You need to know how everything's going to come together. You need to know how everything's going to work out, and you operate from fear, but yet you want a boss man. You want a boss man, you want a confident man, you want an ambitious man, you want a man that's gonna make millions or be able to take care of the family. But a frugal man, a man with a frugal, small, shrunken mindset, he will never have abundance. He will never live in abundance because abundance takes risk. It takes faith. You got to stretch. And so that's one thing that I've learned about the mind that my wife has allowed me to learn is I've learned how to stretch my mind because of what I want to do. So, for example, using my gifts, and just like a man can go and work with his hands, I work with my mind. So I'm not blue collar, I'm white collar. So today I did an email for coaching, relationship coaching, discounted, 50% off, to my audience. It's the first of the month. But there are people who, they don't have a mortgage or they don't have rent. It's people who live with their parents. It's people who, they make enough money, they got enough money to where they pay their rent or their mortgage today, and they can take advantage of the 50% off coaching. That's booking up. It's in the middle of November right now, so October is booked up, and in the middle of November, and then I want to go ahead and just get it booked up through December, and then I'm gonna cut off my thing, cut it off, no more signups, and then in December I open up the first quarter, my books for the first quarter of 2025. And I try to do a discount because my rate is $500 an hour, so this is $250 an hour to my students. So you got to be in a course on Tony Gass's Academy, and if you are in a course, then you got that email this morning at 6 a.m. Well, the last I checked, it was probably around, I think it was $2,000 had came in from that. And I used to make, when I was working a job, 40 hours a week, I used to make, with the same gifting, the same wisdom, I used to make $300 a week. I made $20,000 a year as a group home counselor, like working in the group home as a counselor with the mentally disabled men, $20,000 a year. And just dreaming and thinking outside of the box and creating, and my wife supporting me and just really being a sounding board. Like, she doesn't tell me what to do or how to do it. She don't tell me, name it this, do this, do this. She don't give me a blueprint. She don't give me a business plan. She just says, I could go to her and say, babe, what do you think about this name? And she's like, I like that. Or so I don't like that. Or this one is better. That one's better. Baby, here go 5 logos. What you think about these logos? I like this one. Okay, cool. That's the one I like too. So this next company I'm working on, it's an interesting name that I just kind of made up and put it together and then sent it to her, and she liked it. I'm like, okay, we on something. And then I got the logo. And so we making way. We getting all the pages designed, and then they're gonna go in on the back end and start to do the coding, start to do the developing. And when it come out, because my wife, she like, it's some wives like that. Now, who I give more credit even than my wife, is Kev on Stage wife. Now, Kev on Stage is a Christian comedian. His wife, Melissa, she need a Nobel Peace Prize. Because Kev videos give me secondhand embarrassment. Like, I be embarrassed for her. I be like, man, I be like, I can't do that to my wife. I can't be built like that and get on the camera with no shirt on for content. But that right there that's an amazing woman right there. You hear me? And the thing about it is, it ain't because you can't say, oh, she doing it because they rich, because they got money. No, he been doing like that, but he just blew up. He blew up over the last, 4-5 years or whatever it was. And now they got money. But she supported him from the jump. And that's what we need. We need more women who gonna support Christian entrepreneurs. Men who, and not just, and a lot of women suppress men and don't even realize they suppress them. A lot of women crush and kill their man's dreams and don't even realize they crushing and killing his dreams. And it just be like, it literally could be one sentence. And it's just doubt. Because as a man, now we know when we got a stupid idea. And so sometimes just a little look will do it. Just a little look. And we just throwing spaghetti against the wall to see what's going to stick. So in the stream of conscious. So I be like, baby, what you think about me opening Men Pilates, a male Pilates studio? And I'm just throwing something out there, and she like, no, because Pilates already exists. Men can go to the ones that already exist. Them machines cost a lot of money. It's going to be hard to get men to consistently come do Pilates. It's a waste of money. And although you got the money to pay the rent for the building and buy the equipment and just have one Pilates instructor that does a class every morning, you rarely gonna have a full class. Cause she said, look at me, I do Pilates and I might go once a week. At the best, I'm going twice a week. And then I might take a month off. She's like, it's a very inconsistent thing. Not a lot of people gonna do that regularly, and it's expensive. So I'm just throwing something against the wall. I already know it's a no, but just to hear her flesh it out and just help me think through it, it's cool. But now when I know something gonna hit, when I know it's gonna hit, and I take it to her, then I expect her to see the vision, to agree with it, and to give me feedback. Not to kill the dream, not to crush the dream, but to give me feedback. And so, oh, you about to head out right now? Oh, okay, you got to get there. What you getting? Okay, all us eating? Yeah, give me some. Give me like a double burger, like a double cheeseburger. Yeah, give me a meal. I don't work out. See, every now and then you eat a little bit like that. Listen, I want to tell her to put that swine on there, but I ain't want to have that on camera. What, you want double bacon? Don't get blocked. And so, why she get me a Coca-Cola now? I don't like no Coke now. I'm trying to mess my stomach up like that. My show gonna tear it up. She have it though. And then I'll fast the rest of the day. Let that body go on, purge and cleanse it. You gotta live now. You only live once now. And so I would expect that I got to go in 4 minutes, because I had told myself I could do 30 minutes. Then I got to get on going because I need to leave here in about 20 minutes after that. So I'm going to see if this video will upload in that time so you could get it. But this is something that every woman needs. You need to have, and it all goes in, like this also goes in with submission. Like submitting unto your husband as unto the Lord. When you submit, it allows you to see his vision. And when you don't see submission as a curse word now, because you got a man of God who is loving you the way Christ loved the church. He's not dominating you. He's not disrespecting you. He's not cheating on you. He's not controlling you. He's loving you the way Christ loves the church. And when you have that type of man, and then you can trust him and you can trust his vision. See, trusting his vision is actually submission. A lot of people don't understand, because a lot of people just think submission means slavery. Trusting his vision, encouraging him, giving him feedback, speaking life into him, supporting him, because you may make more than your husband, but y'all are one. So my wife, she invested in me as her husband. Not as her boyfriend, but as her husband. She was getting more money than me because she was getting refund checks from school and working a job. I was working a job and getting refund checks, but the job paid her more than it paid me. We worked for the same company, but they paid her $4 an hour more than they paid me. Light skin privilege. I need to sue them now. And then what happened? She was getting refund checks, and her refund checks was double what my refund checks was. I'm like, I don't like all this pretty privilege now. This disrespectful. Got me around here. What I look like? Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall? I'm like, my goodness. How you get more blessings and favor than me? But guess what? She supported me with my first book. She supported me. And that allowed me to invest in me and to dream. So if you a wife and you touching 70K, 100K, 200K, and your husband, he working and he touching whatever, 50, 70, 100, 200, whatever it is, but he got this vision for his own agency, his own company, his own whatever, y'all got to sit down with me. I'm because I done already did it, I'm going to show you the game. I'm going to teach you how to do it now and how to do it the right way. And I'm going to teach you how to make money, because I done made all the mistakes. And I had to become a God-made millionaire. And I done did all the debt. I done did all the spending. I done did all of it by the age of 40. And now, turning over this new leaf, and this next 40, 50, 60 years, whatever the Lord give me, it's finna be blessed. Going on up. And I thought today, I'm like, should I have an investor in this new fintech company? But I'm like, I don't need an investor. So why bring on an investor and have to be dealing with somebody's attitude and energy and they sin, messing up my family lineage and what we got going on living righteously? I'm like, no, I don't need no investor. The Lord done provided. He done made a way. I'm finna go alone. Because everything that's for Abraham ain't for Jason. So the Lord showed me that not all blessings is transferable. You put too much people in your business, too many hands in the cookie jar, the cookie's gonna be gone. Well, it might be some germs in there. So, hey, this Tony Gaston, God bless you. This is a series now. We're going to be talking to wives, too. Another little series I'll be doing, talking to wives and talking to husbands. But I think a lot of times we don't listen to our own. Like, I might not hear my wife. My wife might not hear me, but coming from another source, because me being a man, I could share from the male perspective what we need as men to flourish, what we need from our wives to flourish. And so I could share on that. And my wife, she do everything now. It's been 17 years. She do everything perfect now. A lot of people don't believe that, but she do everything perfect. Like, I can't really think of nothing that I need that she's not doing. And that's just a testament to having God at the center of your relationship, but also having communication. But then also, I'm going to tell you what's a bigger testament is me doing what I need to do. Me loving her the way Christ loved the church. Me being a man, the man that I need to be. Me being that has made a huge, huge difference. Because it allowed her to rest in her femininity. It allowed her to be at peace, at calm. It allowed her to be my peace, to be a blessing. Because she don't have to be scared. She don't have to walk on eggshells. She don't have to worry and flinch, and she ain't got to check phones and all of this. She just get to flourish. But hey, this Tony Gaston, God bless you. We'll talk soon. Hey, another video might be coming if I get another chance after the picnic, shoot another video. So stay tuned now, because we might on some days it might be 3 videos in a day. Cause hey, I got investors now. The work got to get done now. Now, don't y'all be expecting no crazy old return now. Because remember, this for life now. And you only bought this much now. So don't think you ain't even buy 1%. You see what I mean? So you gonna get your little son, but I got to work for it. You feel me? And then what you got to do, if you're an investor, you got to click on every single video and let it play through. You got unlimited data and you an investor, you need to be going to the oldest videos, and while you working, just test that unlimited data. See if that really means unlimited data. Hit that play button, let it play. Get on the playlist, let the whole playlist play. Let all them advertisements play. Because now we in business together. Hey, it's Tony Gaston. God bless you. We'll talk soon.